Good evening again, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Yes. Thank you, Ivy. So I just want to say, I'm so excited. I barely know what to do with myself. For those who do not know, I don't know how you don't know and you ended up here, but just in case, my name is Tai Caldwell, and I am the CEO of Tai Connects, a resilience organization and home of the signature program, Hike to Connect. Hike to Connect is an immersive hiking program, and we were blessed to be one of the recipients of the 2024 Say Something Strong Awards. Yes, indeed. For those who do not know, there were two $15,000 award winners, and there were three $5,000 award winners. These funds, am I saying it correctly, y'all? Those funds were to be used to help people, marginalized communities, who have been affected by COVID in the Durham community. So when I did my proposal, I told them, I said, well, I apologize, I got excited. I'll tell you about her later. Okay. I gotta gain my composure, oh my gosh. When I did my proposal, I let people know, or I let them know, I already have a program that actually helps people during COVID, and it's Hike to Connect. And I explained the fact that we had so many people that were being affected by COVID, people who were being affected by isolation, those who were dealing with depression, those who were dealing with anxiety, especially our teens, okay? So when I did the proposal, I had no doubt in my mind. I had no doubt that I was going to end up getting the funds. And some people would say, well, that's a little bit cocky. No, it isn't, because I can't even tell you all how I came upon the application. But there was an assuredness in my spirit that I was going to get that, and I knew that I was going to be a good steward over that. But y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and hand this mic over to Mayor Leonardo Williams. And I appreciate the fact that you are here and you've taken time out of your schedule to be here today. So go ahead and kick us off, sir.
Well, I'm here because, anytime there's someone doing something to make our community better, I show up. I don't know if I can always offer the right solution. I don't even know what I can offer sometimes, but I do know that sometimes you just got to show up and say, look, I support you. I'm here with you, and I will grind with you, because folks, we have some problems in our community. We all know that, and I'll be honest with you, I'm a little worried about this summer because there's not enough programs going on this summer, and there are no summer camps, after school programs at school. So what do? We have to resolve to what doesn't cost anything sometimes. We have to resolve to just being around one another. COVID really jacked us up, some of us as a community. I'm an extreme extrovert. I need people. And when we had to isolate in place, I struggled. But I also go to the mountains about 4 times a year. I go to the mountains because as busy as my life is, I actually like to get that resolve, right? And so when I saw this, I was like, what is this? Hike to Connect. Just in the phrase, it seemed like, it was actionable. So I'm glad that someone invested in, such a need. Sometimes we tend to really raise the criteria to is unattainable when it comes to funding something like this. So this right here, you're providing what's needed in our community. We have become sick as a people, and how we respond. There was an incident today. I can't really go into detail about it, but there was an incident where someone was going to pull a gun because somebody was going to break up with them in high school. So our kids don't know how to communicate, and they're out of touch with themselves emotionally. But then there are lifesavers like this, like what you all are doing. There are lifesavers in this community, and that's what I want to invest in. So I'm here to support. I'm here to say this means everything, and I want everybody, every adult, I'm talking to you now, be practical about your engagement. Houston, where are you? Come up here, Houston. I met this young man at a young men's summit, the summit where, Mr. Miller, you were at. So you witnessed this day, but this young man, his name is Houston Taft. He introduced me, he read my bio to the about 100 young men in the room. And when I said, thank you for the introduction, he shook my hand. He's in middle school. But he shook my hand like a president would shake my hand. So therefore, he is with me today because he is the junior mayor of this city. And we have to be practical. We have to be practical. We can't just talk about, oh, there's something wrong with our youth. We need to do something. This is something. So I don't care what you're doing. I don't care what your job is. Take a young person and let them stand beside you and see what your life is like. And I'm not sugarcoating. He just left a town hall on gun violence with me. So please do that. And please connect with one another. This is a very good opportunity to do just that. So I hope you'll invite me out one of these days. All right. Thank you all so much. Thank you. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
Hello, good people. My name is Angel Isette Dozier. I am the founder and principal at Be Connected Durham. And Be Connected Durham is a nonprofit organization that focuses on designing systems and plans that are more equitable, that allow for people to have access to what we need. It's a community-led vision. It's focused on what the individual members of our community need. So one of our strategies is to go and do the research, door knocking, canvassing, setting up at the bus stops, setting up at the chicken hut, setting up at New Visions of Africa, for example. And we ask people, like, we're not here to make you fill out the census. We're here to ask you, why don't you fill it out? So that we can take that feedback to the city, for example, and make a difference in how the education process is done when it comes to civic engagement. So one of the things that we wanted to tackle was funding, because the criteria for funding is out of sight. Y'all already know this. Y'all already know it. In terms of making those questions and the criteria or the requirements for funding, making it accessible, making it so that you understand what you're answering, right? Because we found that because of systemic inequity, there are so many other smaller inequities that pop up when it comes to civic engagement. So if you all are people who tend to show up for a 7 o'clock meeting after a long day of work, after making sure the kids eat, after making sure that maybe your neighbor's children eat, and maybe other relatives in your family are taken care of, oftentimes, do you have enough energy to come to a 7 o'clock meeting? No. Probably not. And some of you do it anyway. We're looking at creating solutions for those of you who do it anyway, and for those of you who still don't have the energy to do it, because we know that it's not just a desire thing. We know that it is because of a long list of small barriers that get in the way of all of us thriving. And so I am delighted, and I'm absolutely excited about this work continuing and finding ways to make this work continue, because when I tell y'all, we had such a response with regard to Hike to Connect and having people like do something that we might think is as simple as journaling, but how that's a therapeutic process and how that can make or break a person, just simply being able to express yourself, because they tell us that we can't be emotional, right? They tell us that we're not supposed to be emotional. If God gives us emotions, are we not supposed to use them, right? Emotions are designed to filter your ego. Emotions are designed to filter your ego. So if we are not allowed to be emotional and open about how we feel, whether it's anger or joy, how is our ego being filtered? How are we maintaining a particular balance every day? So that particular argument is something that can rise all the way up to a systemic injustice. It's the same argument at the end of the day. So we want to be able to tackle people right where they are in terms of letting you experience freedom or liberation at this small level, this small fractal, and then using that to build your way back up to a thriving community. So congratulations to you all. I'm trying to find some more money. So for the rest of you all who supported this initiative, who've been working with Hike to Connect and Tai, please keep doing what you're doing. We do see you, and we're looking for other ways to use this as an example to show what our community needs, what our children need. And when we take care of our children at this level, we can take care of the adults long term. Because these are the people who are going to be making decisions and running our town, city, country, and we have to change things. This is how we do it, starting right here with us. So thank you. It's such a pleasure. And check me out later on. We'll talk about that.
There are many people in this room that helped me even conceive of this for youth by youth space. Destiny was one. Tiffany, Tai, we've talked, like thinking about this unique idea. What if we ask the kids what they want? And then what if we equip them with the space and the grace to do it? I'm only a check collector and a door opener. I'm finding other people who want to empower youth, and I'm like, you want to help? You want to help? Cool. You got money? Cool. Like, let's go. So this is a space that's led by youth. We also are in entrepreneurship. We are kind of side by side with what Pooh Center is doing. We are working in the social innovation and startup and change maker space. So we just had a Zero Hunger Accelerator. We had a hackathon back in January where we asked youth to come together and think about zero hunger, specifically food insecurity here in Durham. Then they went through an accelerator for 12 weeks and they built business ideas. Then we showcased that just on Sunday. These innovative ideas, a Pay What You Can cafe in Durham, a food truck delivery service. There were others, and I have flyers if you want to know. But the next step after this accelerator is now that we are going to implement 2 of those programs this summer during the 4-week gap that Durham Public School students will not have access to free lunch or free breakfast or lunch programming. So we're going to empower youth, pay them, connect them with community partners, connect them with city, county, Duke, Central, all the people, and let's feed some kids this summer and let the kids run it. Because they'll know. They know where they are. They know what kind of food they want. They know how to get people to show up. They know, right? So we asked them. I'm thrilled that Tai, first of all, I love to hike. I lived in Dallas for 20-something years, and it's flat as pancakes, and it's also really boring there. And then I moved here, and I was like, what, mountains? What, beaches? And so I hike all the time. It's one of my favorite things. So when Tai said, I got the grant, which I also applied for, and we didn't get. But that's okay, because Tai got it, and I was like, yes. And then it's Hike to Connect, and I was like, yes, I love to hike, I love Tai, let's make this happen. And if anybody knows of a youth-serving organization or Destiny, you get a little bored with your space, we can swap. This space is for free until the end of 2026 for any youth-serving organization that wants to run programming. We have to. We have to do this together. I have a certain lane. Our kids do a certain thing. Destiny, her kids do a certain thing, and we can work together. And like we're all doing it. So let's just do it, and let's cross-pollinate, and let's support one another. We have a very generous grant, and that generosity, it's easy. It's easy. Let's just do it. So thank you all for being here. I see some familiar faces that I've met before, and I love you, Tai, and thank you.
Who has seen the videos of me swimming? So the person who is my instructor, and y'all will see me kicking back in again, and who has been supportive of this program and connecting me with a number of people in the community, his name is Mr. Desmond Miller, and I would like him to come forward at this time. Would you give him a round of applause? Honoring Desmond Miller in appreciation of your commitment, love, and support of our program. I don't know if I'll feel the same way after, having another lesson with him and he's like, jump in the water, Tai. What what Jesus do. Yeah, do it for Jesus. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. It was my first time applying for a $15,000 award, y'all, and I have no problem with asking for help. Also, I asked for help of someone who has been very supportive of me and the Hike to Connect program. She is another bonus sister. Her name is Coach Crystal Cannon. Can you give a round of applause to her as she comes forward? You. Pretty in pink. She has her own coaching services, y'all, if you need a coach. Come with the money. Okay. She was so supportive. She walked me through the process. There were 2 parts of the process. She was there for both of them. Honoring Coach Crystal Cannon of Cannon Coaching and Consulting. In appreciation of your phenomenal coaching, love for your sister, and support of our program on April 30th, 2024. Oh. Thank you. I appreciate you so much. You all are going to see some beautiful pictures. You are going to see some beautiful videography. What's been shared on social media was me as a novice with my iPhone. But there is a man who is a phenomenal storyteller. He is back here behind the camera right now. Round of applause for Mr. Ken Branson. Somebody take pictures, because he can't do both. Somebody with your iPhone, take pictures. I don't see one iPhone coming out. Because I can't do it twice, y'all. I can't do it twice. Let's pose. Okay.
I know, right?
So this is honoring Ken Branson, basement to balcony, sure, in appreciation of your being our phenomenal storyteller for this portion of the Hike to Connect journey, April 30th, 2024.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
First, I would like to thank Tai for picking our location, because she could have picked anybody to start with. So that was amazing to me. The other thing I wanted to say is I deal with predominantly teens a lot. And what Tai brought to the table that I feel like was very special is she brought family. So I always talk about community and it takes a village, but I realized my piece is the teens. And so I remember recalling asking Tai, how is it going? How is everything going? And she mentioned family participation, like smaller kids, older adults, and I was just stuck on teens. And so some of our parents got to participate in this, would kind of open my eyes to say, hey, we need to do a little bit more for our families. So one, we want to thank you for bringing us an inclusive environment for our families, because I'm like, the kids need to be away. We need a safe space, but they also need their parents. We also need to learn to do stuff together, to work together. So some of our kids, like Denham is the youngest one. We call them our little preteens. They're siblings of our kids, but she was able to come to one of Tai classes. And Sam, she wasn't here today. She's not old enough to come to Poof, but I told her Miss Tai was having a closing, and she almost cried because she couldn't make it. So my biggest takeaway of everything you have done is also bringing family involvement into our program and in our space to make sure we're seeing the bigger picture, not just the small picture with the team. So thank you so much on behalf of us and the Poof. And I bring my love for the boys. Today is boys' night, and they really wanted to come, but the barber came and they said they needed their haircut. So I'm sending love for them too, and thank you so much for including us in your space.
I believe that as human beings, as spirit-filled people, we all carry a certain amount of light within us. Some we might see as bigger than others. Some we might see as broader than others. Some we might be like, oh, we can't stay away from it. Some we be drawn to it. Tai is somebody who has a special, unique type of light. Her light that is within her draws people not only to her, but to other people that are in her atmosphere. And so she is that almost this bridge of bringing different types of people, organizations from all different ages and all different walks of life together, just spinning in that same orbit of love and happiness. And so when it comes to Tai Connects and Hike to Connect, when you get out there, and you know how if you ever walk out in nature and you just feel this sense of calmness and peace, and they say, get out, touch grass. Like my grandma always used to say, boy, go outside, touch some grass. But she literally meant it in the sense of take your shoes off, put your feet on the grass, and feel the connection from the earth. That is what Tai is to me. She is that connection. And so honestly, I believe that Tai, Hike to Connect, it works so well because of you. Because you are that connection, that bridge, just like somebody is going out, putting their feet onto the grass, feeling that real connection. You bring that connection between friends that can be developed for lifetimes, is which my daughter was able to find friendships that she still has from height to connect to this day. You know, and in those times that when you feel lost in the darkness, she'll reach out to you with a helping hand and pull you closer to her, whether that's to give you a hug, whether that's to give advice or give some type of support. That's the type of person that she is. That is why this works. That is why she deserves this. And that is why it's going to continue to work for many, many years to come. Thank you so much, Tai.